Welcome back to Talkertainment here on GhanaWeb TV. We are still here chit-chatting with with Master Richard.
Yes.
Dada Boat, however you want to call him.
That's my qualification.
Oh, okay. You are from
grandson.
Kumasi.
My dad is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my mom is on the Kwapim.
Oh, okay.
In the Eastern region. That's why I'm a chief in the Eastern region, because.
Why not Ashanti region?
I can't do matrilineal inheritance.
Yeah.
So.
And Wafase.
You see that thing. So.
You to someone who inherits your Wafa will inherit your.
My Wafasi. Yeah.
Anyways, moving away from that, would you agree that you are the male version of Nana Mama Brown in Ghana?
Well, I'm not as handsome as.
In terms of ambassadorial deals.
For some reason I can believe that, because I'm sure the two of us have had the opportunity of working with a lot more businesses than some others, so I'll agree somehow. Yeah.
Because now on our screen, if it's not Mac Brown with you.
Yeah.
Like, you are there for the men, she's there for the women. And how lucrative is the brand ambassadorial business? Like, how lucrative is it?
I can speak for Nanama.
Yeah, but for yourself.
I can speak for myself. Yeah. I think is not as lucrative as one would expect for me. Yeah. Because if I am able to do what I am doing here somewhere else in the world, I'm sure that I'll be flying private jets by now. But I shall go for trotro. Yes. For me, it has been average. I believe it gets better. Well, it's not with all the brands I work with. Some of them are doing better than others. But, you put that all together, and I call it survival. Maybe one day it will get better. It's with all the things about the creative arts and how people regard it. Some people even think that what we do is some part-time job. But for me, that's what I do full-time. Some people will even invite you to do programs for them, act in films, do radio, TV commercials, and if they tell you how much they want to pay you, you'll be shocked. There are some people who even invite me to MC programs for them, and they want to pay me with the food that is served there.
Thank you for coming.
They want to pay me with the food that is served there and the drinks that will be provided at the function. So they don't really appreciate it the way it should be, And sometimes, because you have to survive, there are certain commitments that you have to make only to survive, not because of the heftiness of the financial returns. So it's something that ought to be looked at. But as we grow and we become better, sometimes we ask for a bit more. And there are places when you ask for a bit more, they will just kick you out and then probably find someone else. But it will get better.
That's compared to the acting, radio. Which one is more lucrative? Acting
and radio.
Yes, and the ambassadorial
brand stuff. Ambassadorial stuff. I think that for me, a lot of my survival resources had come from being a brand ambassador for a couple of companies. I mean, I've been a brand ambassador for MTN for the past 13 years. Probably one of the longest brand ambassadors for the brand. Cap Farm Ghana Limited, which is also doing very well. Betlog, I'm also brand ambassador for Burger App. I'm losing count of some of them, Step to Christ. I mean, a few of them.
Heaven.
I am no more on Heaven, actually.
Oh, okay.
And these are some of the problems, because to share with you, So there's a revelation here, if I can go on.
Yeah. Sure.
Yes, heaven, I got off heaven because they didn't understand they needed to pay me to be a brand ambassador. Yes, they thought that after doing the contract, you know, I shot TV commercials. I saw billboards of me everywhere in the country. And all that I had was 15,000 cedis. Yes.
And that was it?
Yes. So I needed to take it up, speak to people in the top level of advertising for them to even step in. And my asking for the increment or being paid according to how they are exposing my image to market their product got me kicked out.
But the ads are still playing.
Well, I've not seen it anywhere. If I see it, maybe I'll take an action. But the billboards have been changed, for that I know. I don't monitor a lot of television to see whether they still play it or not. After the contract was cancelled, I saw it a couple of times. But in this country, when you start doing that, radio to say, so sometimes you let it go. Elsewhere, maybe I would have become a millionaire from that. But the principle is that some of them think that, oh, anything should get you to do the work for them to make the money, and you don't deserve anything.
Oh.
Yes. So that's what happened with having Advert. I worked with the brand from 2013, you know, when nobody knew the brand, you know, and I can firmly say that by the grace of God, when I started with the brand, there were other top insecticide brands like Sasso and all of that. But eventually,
they've taken over.
They got to a point that my own cousin wanted Heaven products, and she needed to order for 3 months and wait till she gets the product. The products were in there because people were buying it. So that was what the grace of God used me to do. But whether I was very well rewarded for that work, only God knows. But I believe that even when I work for you and you don't reward me, God will find a way to reward me elsewhere. That is my belief. 15K. Your child, that's how your billboards.
Only weekend expenditure.
Weekend poor.
Yeah,
one night dinner expenditure. So how can I enjoy myself to that level?
I know, right?
Some coffee documentary. So that's been the issues, you know. But well, I felt that even when people see me and say Gbadamushi or they say things about it, having Bakope, that alone, that's a lot to my emotions, though it doesn't put food on the table. Yeah.
Moving away from that, I saw a picture of you dressed like a lady.
Yes.
Was it for an ad, or what was that about?
There's a new character we're developing.
For a program?
Yes, I'm a Beyonce, the most beautiful woman in the Ashanti region.
Oh,
yes. So it's coming up. That's her name, actually. I'm a Beyonce.
So you are the Ama Beyonce?
Yeah, she believes she's more beautiful than even Beyonce.
Why? Why a female character?
I constantly thought about developing things that... I'm a versatile actor. And I felt that there were times that I could play different things and bring life from different aspects into the dramatic sequences that I create. And I needed that kind of strong woman with that kind of mentality, you know, that she's on top of the world. And finding, I'm not saying there were no good actresses to do that, but finding somebody to perform it the way I want, I thought that I should do it myself.
What are your views when it comes to cross-dressing within the skit making and movie space? Because of late we've had a lot of concerns about it. So what do you think is an okay thing?
Well, I have not focused on that. I don't know whether because of my I'm a Beyonce thing. Yeah, but mine is the Tyler Perry kind of concept.
Yeah, that's what others are doing.
So he's been an inspiration to me, that gentleman, because of what he does, his level of creativity, and all of that. And that is what I think of doing. But as to what I think of what others are doing, I'm sure they also have their own reasons for what they do, and I can't comment in any way. But it's all good if it adds up to creativity, it adds up to the excitement in the industry, and people get to show how versatile they are. It's all good.
But they'll tell you it's not part of Ghanaians' culture.
Cross-dressing.
Yes, for a man to dress like a woman and portray it in movies.
Well, I think that life has gone beyond just thinking culture-based development. Your culture becomes a foundation, but there are other things too, because people look at that character and enjoy it. You understand me? I am not performing that and come back to real life as a woman, or behave or think and live like a woman. It is just for the arts. You understand? Just to play a role. And we've had, film has its own standards. Film has its own culture. If you look at Coming to America, Eddie Murphy played about 7 roles in the same film. He played an old man, he played a woman, he played that, and that is a culture of filmmaking. That is a level of creativity that some of us are trying to adapt to, because at the end of the day, we are not doing it we're using our culture as a foundation, but we are not just doing it for ourselves. We're using it to attract other people to even understand our culture. So sometimes we need to imbibe some of their own culture to make it easy for them to consume. You understand what I'm saying? So for me, that is the principle. But apart from that, yeah.
Moving away from that, what is happening to our veterans? Recently, we've had a lot of issues with regards to retirement plans, sicknesses without adequate structures to keep them in place and all of that. What have you identified that is actually the canker amongst such situations, and how best can we help resolve it?
Right. It's a very good question, and thank you very much for the opportunity to talk about it. It is because of the same canker that I spoke about, inadequate rewards for the work that we do. If you look at the work that I've done for the products that we just mentioned, and if I calculate how much financial returns that I got from it, it's absurd. So at the end of the day, people would have seen you on billboards, they would have seen you on TV programs, but you have nothing to show. I always say that the best reward Ghanaian performers get is, hey, Nkommo, hey, Nkommo. That is the best rewards that we get. So if there's nothing on your table or you don't have any other form of skill to live by and grow with, and that is your only option, there is no way you are going to grow up wealthy or well-to-do. You're going to get to that level. If you're not able to do it again, there will be nothing saved for you to live on. That's the point, because as you work, what comes in is so little that you can't even save. That is what it is, because there's no policy that even guards. When you go to other places, there are A-class actors, B-class actors, A-class actors. You can't pay them you are a minimum of this amount for them to perform. And the industry understands that. So once you want to get this class of actor to perform in any of your situations, you know that for this one, this is the minimum I am paying. And that is the respect when you go to other countries, they give to the performing arts. Yeah. You know, when you go to other countries, performers are more respected than other professions. I always say that some actors in Hollywood can employ 20, 30 doctors for themselves because they are well paid. How many doctors can employ those actors to work for them as well? And that is because that industry has a lot of regards and appreciation for the craft. So they are very well rewarded. But in our case, it becomes a hobby, kind of. People do it because they are interested in it. They don't get to be rewarded. So most of these people die as paupers. You understand? Yeah. TT said it when he was alive. Incomes from taxi driver, incomes from other productions. You know, even as we talk now, people come to ask me to perform in films and they want to pay me 1,000 cedis. They want to pay me 1,005. You understand? And so people will see a movie that will live all your life and all that you got was ice water money. So these are the situations. But then, if the system is really worked at and there's policy, people will earn more. They'll have more opportunities. You see the telenovelas on TV?
Yes.
I think it's criminal.
Now it's 3 novellas.
Yes, I think it's criminal. Because, you see, we are not taking hours there and people are bringing theirs here. It's just like the import of dead chicken into our economy when we have lands that we can construct poultry farms. That will give better nutrition, it will give better economics, it will give better employment. So if you continue to kill poultry farms and import dead chicken, some chicken that has stayed in the freezer for years for consumption, it's criminal. And that's what we are doing with our arts. People are, we are paying foreign directors, foreign actors, when our actors and directors, producers don't have jobs. And that's criminal. Our crew, they don't have jobs. That is criminal. I think television stations who show these programs, their executives should be arrested for doing that. Because they are killing the economy, not just the industry. They are killing the economy. And these same people have families who complain about there are no jobs, there are no jobs. But this is what is happening. Because if you're making films or if TV stations are instructed to even do 80% Ghanaian productions, it's not just the actors who find a job. Caterers will find jobs. Costume makers will find jobs. Makeup artists will find jobs. Crew members will find jobs. That is the understanding. Locations will find income. Why are we not doing that? You know, why have we left it like that? Why is no one concerned? Why is everyone looking on whilst these things go on? It is criminal and must be checked. And I believe that the new administration, with my guys in the policy house, should find a way to change this. Because it can make a lot of difference if proper care is taken.
With someone who is contesting as the president for the Actors Guild, I've not
started
Inshallah, let me use your phrase. Inshallah, when you step in those toes, what will be your first point of action?
Even before that, I threatened a couple of years ago that I was going to have a naked demonstration if some of these productions are not taken off our screens. And Obi and Fimi.
Please elaborate on the naked demonstration.
And I realized that these people wanted to see my nakedness. I realized that's what they wanted to do. They didn't care about what I was talking about. But it's going to get to a point where we need to raise our voices. We need to be heard because it's damaging. And we need to make reforms. Media houses, TV stations, and all of that should be made to show Ghanaian content instead of these foreign content. It's a must. And that's one of the things that I'll fight for if I get the opportunity. And fight to the last drop of my blood. Because even if we don't benefit, the future should. The country should benefit. You know, our work doesn't just bring money to our pockets. It sells the country as well. That is what takes what's in the country to the outside world. What we put in on our media. So the benefits are enormous. So why are we relegating it to the background? That is the situation. So I'll do that. But the most important thing is that even to secure, you know, some welfare for the, you know, even whilst you are working, you should be able to have enough to save.
Like
some funding, and you should be able to assess, you know, pension and all of that. So these are some of the things that will happen if I get the opportunity. And well, of course, I've started a Performance Foundation Ghana because I support most of these veterans when I have the opportunity and the resources to do so. So what I'm thinking now is that why don't I find a way to really get more support in the pool to be able to support more of them. Because some of them is just an individual, send me this, give me that, and all of it. But there are some that are in very adverse situations. Some healthcare, and some need a surgery that will cost just some money, and they need to die because they can't afford it. KK Kabobu, even when the current president decided to support him, it was too late because initially he couldn't find support. So when people got to know and they wanted to offer support, it was gone. But when these people know that, okay, there's a foundation or there's an NGO that can help them in times of need. Some need just accommodation to survive. Some need to pay their health bills. Some even have legal issues they can't solve and all of that. So I'm getting stakeholders together to be a part of this foundation so that those of us who are actively working will also contribute, and the funds and all of that can also contribute to help these people when they go into difficulty. And I'm sure that foundation will be launched in a few months.
Aside that, do you think we haven't positioned ourselves well for the government to take us seriously as creatives?
It's true. We haven't yet. And that is why I'm happy that we have some of our guys now telling the society that we're capable of even making decisions for the country. So kudos to John Dumelo, E+, Rexoma, and all of those people who are at the forefront of the creative arts, trying to get involved in policy making. And then again, I always say, but I'll ascribe all to policy, because most of us don't act as professionals because we are not trained. Training is a key factor that is lacking in our industry. Most of us go through it as amateurs, and because we go into it as amateurs, we don't really define our status very well in the eyes of the public. Because if you are a doctor and you have gone through medical school and all of that, and knowing what the profession really is, some of these things you won't take it for granted. That is why I'm saying that we take ourselves for granted. That is why people take us for granted. Otherwise, for now, as I talk to you, for the past few years, there's not been an active Actors Guild in this country. So who will fight for our rights? Who will take care of our rights? Who will take us serious? When we find it difficult to unite, we have a united front to talk for ourselves. You know? So these are all problems that needs to be fixed for people to take us serious.
Okay. let's move away from that, and then let's go into family.
Yes.
I have not seen your wife here. I'm in your house. I can't see your wife. I can't see your kids. Please, where are they?
They are there.
In Ghana?
Some of them are in Ghana, some of them are out there.
Some of who? Your wives? Do you have more than one wife?
No, you mentioned wife and children.
Okay.
You mentioned wife and children, so...
Okay, let's get it straight. How many kids do you have?
I have several kids. Now, yes, I have several kids. You know, I have several kids.
I mean biological.
Biologically, about a lot of them. I can't even remember. I have several kids.
10?
About 10. I have 9 kids actually.
9?
Yes, yes.
And they are all based in Ghana?
No, some of my kids are out there.
Okay.
Some of them are here.
So like your eldest child is how old?
My oldest child is 26.
Oh, okay.
My first daughter is 26.
Oh, wow.
About to graduate from law school in the United Kingdom.
Oh, that's nice.
So
that's nice.
Yeah, but I keep saying that I have several kids because you know, both biological and non-biological, because I take care of a lot of kids. It's very, very important. From the way I grew up, I don't see just biological kids as my kids, but kids who need support I can offer become my kids as life goes on.
So what do you do for fun? What are some of your hobbies? If you are not shooting commercials, if you are not in the studio, what do you do?
I play FIFA, football. That's all. I'm not TV games. I'm not an outgoing person, so I spend time by myself when I have to, or my kids, or play FIFA. I cook as well, so I do so sometimes. But apart from that, all my thoughts are into how to energize my career, because I don't think I've gotten to 50% of my own, expectations of my own self. So I'm still fighting to work harder to get there. I believe that now I mostly do filmmaking than even act. I feel that I'm a better film director than an actor. But I still want to become one of the best actors in the world, so I'm still working hard. Yeah, I'm looking for opportunities, and I'm also training myself to be a better media practitioner. And a couple of years ago, I have had accreditation to start a media institution. As a matter of fact, we've started admissions to train the younger generations to do better and fill up the standards that we are lacking, because I believe that we are not getting there mostly because we are not appealing with regards to the expected standards in the industry. Here, people get up and the next day they call themselves actors. People get up the next day, they say they are photographers because they have a camera to wild. But it takes training. People, when I tell people that people are reading their PhDs in photography, some people are amazed. But that is what it is. So we need to raise the standards. We need to raise the bar. And that is what will take us there.
Okay. So any last words?
Last words.
Yeah.
Keep growing, learn new skills, better yourself, make sure that your today is better than yesterday, and your tomorrow is also better than today. I have a lot of people come to me that I'm looking for a job, and I say, what can you do? And they tell me, oh, meet me at BBR. Then I said that there's a plane at the airport, they need a pilot. So meet me at BBR there. That's a job opportunity. You understand? So it means that you need to build for yourself good skills, employable skills, and that's what can change your life. So it's important. And think straight. In life, you might have ups and downs, but once God keeps you alive, there's always an opportunity to be better.
I want you to wrap up the show for us in your
Talkertainment.
In your voice, in your element.
Yes.
Yes.
Ja, Otiko Koso Nanani. The legitimate grandson of the golden stool. And no, and the year me qualification. And then Talkertainment about a himfie. And you know Makasa. I'm also so offer. And I'm also so a bias so offer. And you would Munyabuche na Musheshu no Adabia. I say, HBA, but the digital system, we will show we are, but don't become and share. Thank you.
That's it, yeah.